What's up? It's your girl Queen Boss Lady, and I'm back to do another spiritual reading for you guys. If you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I drop a spiritual reading. So let's go ahead and get into the video. Let me go ahead and say my disclaimer. Please don't come over here acting like Cinderella two evil stepsisters. If this shoe does not fit, then that means it's not your size. Okay? So you got somebody that feel entitled. This is someone that feels entitled to having access to you. They want to pretend like they want to be your friend, but they really don't. So this is what I wrote down, and then I have a short testimony to give you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna give the testimony first because the testimony goes first, and then meeting this person goes next. So you guys know my testimony. I've been telling it here on my channel, and if you don't, you got to go back and fill yourself in. But to make a long story short, long story short, I thought it was time to tell my children, you know, why I wasn't dealing with my family. I felt like they were old enough. I felt like they was mature enough. And true enough, me and my children did have some bumps along the roads. But I just felt like, you know, they're mature enough. They're getting old enough. So, you know, let me fill them in. And I decided to get counseling for all of us as well because of the things that, you know, I was going to be saying and, you know, the things that I was going to be expressing. I just felt like I needed that extra support. So I got us counseling. And I noticed that when I got us counseling, my oldest daughter, it's like that was a trigger for her. She immediately got infuriated, and she basically told me like I'm a horrible parent for getting them counseling and suggesting even counseling and doing counseling with them. And at the time I was surprised, but here now, sitting here, I'm not surprised because it's like as soon as we got into counseling and I began to tell them, you know, why I wasn't dealing with my family and why God had told me to cut my family off, and you know, she started to hear the things that, you know, my mom was doing to me because, you know, I was saying it. And I just noticed a big change in her energy, in her persona, and the more that I healed, the more it was a trigger for her. So secretly, I was healing on my own without my children knowing. I was healing from childhood trauma, past relationships trauma secretly. But I got to the point where I was, you know, so healed. I said that I did not want to deny my children just wiping the existence out of their grandmother and grandparents and aunties and uncles, and you know, them not know why. And so I just noticed a big change, a big shift in her energy. She became very jealous, very possessive of me, checking my phones frequently to see who I'm talking to, who I'm speaking with. She became overly jealous of the attention that I would receive, especially from men. I would be out and it didn't matter if I had all of my kids with me, like they still did not care. They was like, girl, we will pay your tab. Like I've been places, and I'm not trying to brag on myself because this is very hard for me to do because I don't brag on myself. Like it is what it is. It happens and whatever. But this is a part of my testimony, so it's, you know, we would be out and people would compliment me like, oh my God, you're a beautiful woman. And then they would compliment me how well clean my children are, how neat their hair is, how beautiful they are, you know. And they would do certain things, but they would just, you know, move, because you got to think about it. In Houston is a very big city. My mom was not able to make any contact with neighbors or strangers or get anyone on board as far as stalking me and, you know, mocking me. So I received a lot of support out in Houston. I received a lot of love out in Houston. It got to the point where, you know, people would ask to take pictures with me because I was so beautiful, and they just, you know, a lot of people would tell me they never seen a beautiful as woman as me. I'm sure you guys hear that too. But it's just, it was it was overwhelming for me, but not to the point where it just like I don't know. It's like it's like if you know, you know, God doesn't give these gifts to a lot of people because people will take full advantage of these gifts, and that's what it became with her. It's like, you're so beautiful. This man wants to give you money. Why won't you take it? You're so beautiful. This person wants to do that for you. So do it. Do it. It's like she started trying to provoke me to, you know, get back into basically, you know, exchanging things for good, and that's not how it works in my life. Like literally, I would be out like this one time. I was in Walmart. I put all my stuff on the register, and I got ready to pay for it, and the man behind me was like, no, 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 I'm gonna pay for it. I'm gonna pay for it. And I was just like, are you sure? And he was like, yes, I'm gonna pay for your stuff. You don't have to pay. You're a beautiful woman. You take very good care of your children. I can tell by just looking at them. I got this. This is a blessing. And he literally blessed me, you guys, and that's all it was. And I can tell you another time, me and my children were at a restaurant eating, and this man just walked up and he was like, I just want to bless you and your family. You look amazing. And I can just tell by the way your children are dressed and how they're behaving that you are a great mother. I just want to bless y'all. I want to pay for your meal, and I want to give you $50. He paid for our meal and he gave me $50, and I never seen him again. So it's like instantly my daughter knew that like I was receiving, you know, a recognition. I was getting praise for the love and the energy that I was putting into myself. Not only that, I was being praised for being a good mother and putting a lot of love and a lot of energy into my kids as well. And that became very triggering for her. It wasn't overwhelming for me. I'm sorry I said that. It was overwhelming for her is what I meant to say. The attention that I would get, the praise that I would get, the recognition that I would get. It was too much for her to bear, because even though she's getting praise and she's getting recognition, because people would literally look at them and say, you guys, you have a wonderful mother. Look at the way she dresses you guys, and you guys look beautiful. You know, they would get that attention and that recognition, but it wasn't enough for her. She wanted more. You know, clout is a hell of a drug, and when you have these type of energies attached to you and everything like that, it takes a toll on you. So I began to notice that she started to do certain things. Like, we would be in counseling and I would talk about how my mom was mean and would do nasty, malicious things to me. And then that very next day, she would go and try to re-imitate, you know, what I had just talked about. And so that was a red flag. You know, my red flag went up, and it just got worse and worse the more that I tried to make sure that, you know, my children were healed in different areas and different aspects of their life. Because it's not all about you when you have children. It's just the more she became furious, the more she became agitated, the more she became angry, the more love that I would get, she would get mad. The more attention that I would get, she would get mad. People began to recognize me. Hey, that's the lady with the YouTube channel. Oh my God, we love your YouTube channel, because I do have another YouTube channel, guys, that I was vlogging on. And my children also have their own YouTube channel as well. So it just became too much for her. And things just took a terrible turn, you guys. And my daughter began to run away. The first time she ran away, I thought I was going to literally just lay down and be unalive, you guys. That I've never been so sad in my life before. Even with losing 3 of my siblings due to murder, I had never felt this before. I really felt like my heart was out of my body, like I did not have a pulse, like I was just living, You guys, I called the police so many times trying to see if they have found my children. Where are my children? I went to the schoolhouse. I made posters. I put them up all around Houston. You guys, I was walking around so sad, so lifeless, so depressed, so irritable. I did not sleep well at night. I didn't sleep any at night, just checking my phone, seeing if they would call me, or if they would text me, or if they would just, say something to let me know that they were okay. And a lot of people in the community, they took this time to laugh at me, to mock me, um, and to laugh at me and to pick at me because, I was someone in the community that was well respected before this started happening because, that's what she started to attack. Oh, so everybody sees you so good, and that's going to be a problem for me because how am I going to show up and be who I want to be if you are looked at in this type of light? Like, that's going to be a problem for me because I just noticed a lot of change, a big change in her behavior. So the community, they just took this time to kick me, laugh at me, taunt me. And at the time, I had a little business going. I was doing lashes, and this neighbor that I'm gonna speak on later on in a few minutes. I just didn't want to be friends with her, and I'm going to let you know later on why. But it's like she would still come and buy things from me just to be in my energy. She would come get her lashes done just so she could see me, moping around, very sad. I was not laughing. I just wasn't here. I just had checked out. And she saw that was very hurtful for me. That was very painful because in spite of me not wanting to be her friend, like that's not gonna stop us doing business. Like I'm a businesswoman. I'm going to accept you as a client, as a customer, but not as a friend. Like, and a lot of people get those wires crossed, but not me. I know how to keep it business. I know how to keep it client. I know how to keep it professional. And so it took a lot out of me, you guys, until the day I received a text from my daughter, and she was basically laughing at me and playing with me, and she would call my phone and be laughing with other girls and hang up the phone. Then she texts me from you know she would download the secret numbers, and she texted me and was like, oh, if you just tell me you love me, I'll tell you where I'm at. And I'm like, I love you, I love you. And I just kept texting, I love you, I love you, I love you. And then she just vanished and texted me back. My kids were gone for a whole month. They had ran away with a grown woman who, another one, I wouldn't compete with her. I wouldn't get in the ring with her and compete with her. So she took that as an opportunity to, believe my children. My children started up these nasty ass, hideous ass rumors of me abusing them and just mostly like abusing them. So that I would be shameful and I wouldn't be able to get on camera because, like I said, I had a YouTube channel at the time and I was very active with my business. And it's like you have to have a certain type of energy and a certain type of confidence when you're out there and you're networking and you're giving your business cards out and you're meeting new women and you're telling them about your lashes or you're telling them about your business and everything like that. So that's what I would do. Even if I was going to the grocery store, it was like a hustle for me. I'm grabbing my business cards. I'm talking to different people. It's called networking. I'm a people's person. So it's like that was just overwhelming for her. So she said if we take that out and replace it with, all the bullshit, and it's like a red light went on for her. Like once I told her and my counselor and everything, what my family had put me through, she was like, aha, okay, I'll do the same thing and I'll be able to succeed in this area where they failed. I will succeed. And I know these things because God allowed me to hear her thoughts. God also filled me in on certain things and certain plans and certain plots that she schemed and scammed up. So that was the first time they ran away. I remember I had $3,500 um, in savings, and God told me to stop buying my children things. And I'm like, God, why? He said, because I want to show you something. I want to show you something. Just don't buy them no new clothes. Don't buy them no new shoes. Don't take them out to eat the fast restaurants. Just spend more time with them, one on one. And I said, okay, so how? He just said, one by one, just spend time with your oldest one. Take her to the park. Just talk to her. Um, Take her for some ice cream, $1 ice cream, and just spend more time with her. And so that's what I began to do. I would take one at a time, and just excuse me, you guys, and I would just talk to them. And you know um because as parents, we can sometimes we can be too strict or too hard. I feel like being an empath, being um with the gifts I have, sometimes I feel like I was too nice of a mother, so I was looked at and treated as like a pushover. um but I wasn't raising my children alone. Like I said, I had um support, some support, not in the community though, but extended support. And so that's what I began to do. And I began to notice that was a trigger for them. And so I'm like, God, my children are getting more angrier with me, more frustrated with me. And she would do that. She would be like, I want to go get some shoes. Or no, she wouldn't say, I want to go get some shoes. This is what she would do. Why can't we just go walk around the mall? Because they know, like, if we walk around the mall, it's for a reason. It's because we're going to pick up something. We're going to purchase something. And I would just be like, no, let's just, we're enjoying each other's time, each other's company. Like, I want to spend time with you. I want to talk to you. I want to bond with you. And that just infuriated them. Like, they got so furious and so frustrated and so aggravated. And I said, God, it's not me that they want. They want my money. They want, they want me. They don't love me. They want me to buy them things. And he said, that's what I want you to see. That's what I wanted you to see. Because let me put myself in my children's shoes. When I was growing up, I would have loved for my mother to spend time with me, get to know me, talk to me. It's okay if you buy me $1 ice cream and we go to the park. That's fine. I would have loved that. That would have meant so much, But my kids had gotten used to me buying them things and spoiling them. And what is spoiled things need to be thrown in the trash. That's why to this day I say, no, my children aren't spoiled, they're blessed, because I want them to be humble. And yeah, they weren't accepting of the fact that I just wanted to love and care for them and nurture them and hug them. And I also did another thing. I quit my job because I started to see where it's like the father is already absent in my children's life, and then I'm absent because I'm working 2 jobs, and I barely get to see my kids. I just get to go home, pick my kids up from daycare, go home and cook for them, and they eat, and then we go to sleep. That's right. It's like I really didn't have time to ask them about how their day, how was it, what they like. It's like it was rushed. I would get those questions in there, but it was very much rushed. So I asked God, I'm like, God, it's nobody raising my kids. It's like strangers are raising my kids, and that's not how I want it to be. So God fixed that, where I was able to be a full-time stay-at-home mother with my children and pour into them more. That infuriated her. Because she liked the fact that other people was raising her. She liked the fact that, she could get away from me. And I mean, that's necessary. When you have children, it's necessary that they go to school and you get your break. It's necessary that they go to daycare and you get your break. And in Houston, there's a 24-hour daycare. So what I would do is, like, when I really needed a break, like on a Saturday, I would take them and let them stay at the 24-hour daycare overnight, and I would just go home, have me some wine and chill. Because you got to think about it, I didn't have any help from mother, dad, sister, cousin, uncle, niece, nephew, nobody, nothing like that my kids were staying with. And so and we were in a different town, so that even infuriated her, the fact that I was able to become a full-time stay-at-home mother and invest in my children. Like I say, I started each one of my children their own businesses, and I also started them. My daughter actually had 3 businesses. She was an editor, and I taught her how to do hair, and she was a good baker. And all 3 of these businesses bought her income every day. She was making at least, I would say, $500 a month based off of these businesses that I had gotten her. But I moved on a little too far. So let's rewind it back some. And yeah, once I realized that she laughed at my hurt and laughed at my pain, I kind of like just chucked it up, and I just kept moving forward. And so this neighbor saw my hurt, saw my pain, and she wanted to swing at it too, because I had still not took her up on that offer of being her friend. She would just make an appointment to get her lashes done. I would do her lashes, and she would leave, or she would order cake or cupcakes or things like that, because I still kept my daughter business going. Or she would order out of my store. I would just treat her like a customer. I treat her like you go into the mall and you purchase shoes. Are you trying to be, whatever shoe you bought some Nikes. Now you want to be friends with the Nike boss or CEO. No, you get your shoes and you get up out the store. And people just have a real hard time understanding that and doing that when it comes to me. They feel like they can just get up underneath me and I'm just going to accept them. No, baby boo, we're not on the same level. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that at all. I didn't want this video to be long, so I'm going to make a part 2. So I'll see you guys in the next video.